guys, my name is Sage. I'm a recovering anorexic, and I don't know, I just got the idea to maybe make some videos about my journey recovering, what it's like, I don't know, just kind of my story, honestly. I've been in recovery since October, so November, December, January, February, March, about 6 months now, and I guess it's as much for me as maybe it is for you. I was just kind of lonely and hoping that maybe just sharing how I feel and some of what I'm going through maybe could help someone else. So here I am. In this first video, I'm just going to talk about how I found my way to recovery, kind of my story leading up to that, and then maybe in my next one I'll talk about what it's like in recovery, kind of what I do, how it feels as far as emotionally, and that one I'm actually really looking forward to. I think that especially anybody, if you're out there struggling with an eating disorder, hearing somebody else talk about the struggles and things you feel might really help you. It'd feel like somebody understands, because I know it's a very lonely feeling and you don't know if anything you're feeling is normal. So that one I'm really looking forward to do, but this is just kind of to, I don't know, I figured I should start at the beginning. So it's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly the beginning for me, because I know some people decide just, I don't like the way I look, I'm too fat or this or that, and I'm going to start restricting so that I get skinnier and lose weight and feel better about myself. That's not really how it happened for me. It was a lot more complex and gradual, so much so that I didn't even realize fully what I was doing to myself, or the decision that I had fully made, and how I don't know, how deep I'd gotten into this disorder. And so I guess when I just turned 20. Back when I was 18, I went to college, my first year of college, and that was it got me out of the house, so I was more on my own, and I lost a lot of weight at college because my mom wasn't there to constantly be like, you need to eat something, you're too skinny. She would do that to me a lot and kind of keep me in check. But when I was alone, I lost a lot of weight, and then school year ended, came home, my parents were not happy at all. They were like, what did you do? Did you not eat when you were at school at all? And I was just like, oh yeah, I ate, I played it off a lot, or, well, I've been sick. If you have an eating disorder, you probably use these too. I've been sick, you're weighing me earlier than I normally weigh, so I haven't had time to, eat enough, and of course I weigh more or less because it's earlier, or my clothes are lighter, or, things like that. Try to just push it off. It's not that big of a deal. And my then boyfriend and I got engaged over the summer, and we were going to get married, obviously. And so we were going to get married at the end of the summer, and I'm 19 at this point, and saving for a wedding and all these things over the summer. And just as the summer was going, I lost more and more weight, and it was getting pretty bad. I want to be delicate on how specific I am with as far as numbers as my weight goes and things like that, because I know, especially if you're struggling with anorexia or probably bulimia too. I don't know, because I didn't personally go through that, but you compare yourself a lot. So if I were to say I weighed this much and it's lower than what you weigh and you're trying to recover, that would probably really hinder you. I know it would me, because I'd be like, well, I don't need this. She's skinnier than I am, so I'm still fat. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to bring that, any of those feelings into this. So I'm going to keep it as vague as possible while still telling my story. But if it's too vague, just let me know in the comments and I'll try to clear up any questions you have. So, I lost more weight. My parents were really worried, and they're like, to the point where they told me that if I lost any more weight, then they were going to make me cancel the wedding, and I was not going to get married because they couldn't trust me to be on my own. Because I weighed, because I was losing so much weight. So, and they told me I needed to start gaining right away. And of course, having this issue, I did not want to gain weight, obviously. So what I did was, I told them, look, I'm getting ready to get married. I really want to just feel comfortable on my wedding night and my, on my honeymoon. I don't want to have, put on 10 pounds and then get thrown into a honeymoon, And they understood that. They very, very reluctantly agreed that I needed to maintain where I was, and then as soon as I got married, feel good on your wedding night, whatever, and then once you're married, you start gaining weight, like, immediately. So I said okay, but I didn't. Got married, moved 16 hours away, and the newfound freedom of being, alone, basically just with my husband, I could eat however I wanted, and nobody said anything. My parents weren't there to see how little I was eating, and drinking, and I felt like I could do whatever I wanted now, and it was just okay. And I really spiraled. I hit my, my lowest weight. I'm not going to tell you what that was specifically, but I hit, my low, and it was to the point where, I would just, not even just waking up after sleeping and standing up, I get dizzy. That had been happening for a while, but now it was just any time, even turning too quickly, I would get extremely lightheaded. My vision would start blacking out. I was just drained of any color in my face, really anywhere. My hands and my feet were completely white. They were freezing all the time. When you're outside, like in the snow or in the cold, I don't know where you live, but I'm sure you've been exposed to cold somehow, and you're so cold, it actually starts to burn. My hands and my feet were kind of just constantly at that, like, it was painful. They were so cold, and it was like that all the time, and they would kind of fluctuate between that and then going numb. My fingers would go numb, and I was just so exhausted, and so, I don't know, people would, like a friend would say, do you want to go out to eat? And that would almost offend me, because it would be like, if you knew how exhausting it is just to get through the day, you would never ask me to go somewhere on top of it, It was just, I was so drained all of the time. And I didn't even realize it. That's, I think, what most people don't realize, as far as the families and loved ones of those who are going through an eating disorder. They don't even realize that this isn't normal, because it had become my normal. I didn't think twice about not being able to turn around without almost blacking out, or my fingers being numb or being so exhausted. It's like I couldn't stay engaged in a conversation because it was just too fast. It was too much. I didn't even think twice about that. And I was really at a bad place. And so my parents, they saw a picture of me somehow, and they were like, you look like a skeleton. And they were just terrified. My mom and my sisters came down, drove 16 hours the next day to come see me. They're like, you're going to the hospital. We're going to figure this out, but you can't, you look like death. You can't keep going like this. So they came, and I think the point for me where I decided that I actually decided within myself that I was going to try to get help was when my littlest sister came out of the van. She's 10. And when she saw me, she just got this look on her face that I can't really explain. But she looked at me, and then she came up and she hugged me so tight, like she didn't know if she'd get to hug me again. Like it was almost like a goodbye hug or something. Like she's just, I don't know, it just broke my heart to see that just looking at me made her feel whatever it was that made her give me that look. And I decided then that, okay, I'm really gonna try to get help. So my parents took me to the hospital to make sure that nothing was going wrong internally, because when you are at as low of a weight as I was, there are a lot of problems, you know, that can happen with your heart, organs. All those things are really at risk. So they got all kinds of tests ran. I wasn't in any immediate danger, or nothing was going wrong at the time. So that was good, and my parents called all the, inpatient, housings for eating disorders. That's not what it's called. In-house treatment. And they were calling for me so that, you know, see if I needed to go there, because nobody would see me outpatient. And all the in-house places told my mom, they're like, her weight is way too low. She's way too high risk. We can't accept her into this place. So none of the residential treatments would accept me either. So no one would see me. And so we were just kind of stuck. My mom got as much information as she could as far as how they nourish the people that they will accept. And they said, get back with us after she gains such and such amount. I don't know. They really keep me in the dark with how much I'd have to gain to get to certain levels. You understand how, why they would do that, because obviously the thought of gaining weight is very, very terrifying. And numbers are the last thing you need to help you. They are always a hindrance. Always. Just trust the people that you love. And so what they did, my mom did the best she could, following the instructions that she was given. I ended up becoming very familiar with these things, or boosts. Nutritional drink. Oh, it's backwards because of the camera. But I drank several of these a day. I think 3 to maybe at one time I was drinking 4 every day. I covered up the calories on purpose because I saw them and it was not a good thing for me. So if anybody needs them, they're just Boost. They're in a little orange container. You can get them off Amazon or somewhere else. I know there's another place, but they kind of, shipping them, you have problems. I would go with Amazon. So if you're like a parent of somebody somebody with an eating disorder and you want to start with these, you can look for those on Amazon and it's fine. And then you can just like take a Sharpie and scribble out the calories and say, here, I love you, drink this. You know? But I drink several of those every day along with eating a lot. And one of these is quite a bit more calories than I would have consumed in an entire day. And I drank 3 or 4 plus all the meals and snacks. So it was a big leap. I gained, I don't know how much, but enough to where this place decided they would see me outpatient, because even if the residential treatment would take me, we couldn't afford it. It's just way too expensive. So outpatient, they agreed to see me, and they said she is still way too high risk for us to technically be allowed to see her. That's why I'm not going to give you their name, because I don't know if they could get in trouble. But we will try to work with her, and if she doesn't, make progress or please us, or if we just see that she's starting to have some serious health issues, because that was kind of like, I could break down at any minute, really. I was shutting down. And so they said, we'll see her, but you have to be okay with us saying, okay, we can't see her anymore at any given time. So my parents took what they could get. They did it, and I started seeing them. There's a dietitian, a therapist, and a doctor that I see once a month, because she kind of goes all over the place. But I would see the dietitian and therapist once a week. I'm actually still doing that. I'm still in recovery, but I've come a long way. I'm kind of at the place now where I've reached pretty safe weight. I think as far, again, they're very much keeping me in the dark, but I think now it's more just my mind has to recover more, my literal brain and things like that, for me to really be able to fully recover. But I have come a long way, and I'm not done yet. And I can talk more about the brain and recover. I'll talk about that in the recovery video, the next video. But that's the story of how I got to this place that I'm going to now, and I'm seeing these wonderful people. They are so nice and genuinely care about me, and I don't know, it's extremely hard and I don't know, I don't want to play it off like, and then I got to this place and now I'm getting help and everything's fine. Everything's not fine. I have panic attacks like once a week when I'm about, if a meal's coming up that's particularly hard, I'm still working through things myself, but I have definitely come a long way, and I just wanted to, I guess, tell you that there is no, you're either on the brink of death, but then you go find somebody that will help you, and then you're fine. It's a process, a very long process. It's been 6 months for me, and I'm still not fully recovered. I mean, and that's not, it's not like I'm taking a very long time. As far as research goes, depending on how much your brain has been affected, it can take years for the brain to get back to normal. So don't be discouraged if you feel like it's taking a long time, because recovery is a process. And unfortunately it's a very slow process. But hopefully this video kind of helps you see that there is hope of getting better than you were before and continuing to get better. And I'm gonna, if you're thinking about recovery and considering that, which I would very much obviously encourage you to do, I'm going to talk to you in the next video, which I will most likely post Tuesday, since today is Tuesday, so I'll just post one every Tuesday if this goes well, and about recovery and kind of my experience with it, all the struggles and hardships and emotions, and what I actually do, some of the activities that my therapist has me doing, some of the activities my dietitian has me doing, and just all kinds of things. And I'll also be throwing some pointers in there for loved ones and parents of those struggling with an eating disorder, mainly anorexia, just because that's what I went through and that's what I understand. But I'll do the best of my ability to keep it kind of where it would help everyone. So that is my story, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope this, I don't know, it just helps you to know that you're not alone, and just to feel that connection with a total stranger, because they don't think you're crazy. Like, I don't think you're crazy. If you would tell me everything you were feeling, I would honestly understand. And I know I don't know who you are, I don't know how to get in contact with you, but just knowing that I would understand hopefully helps you. I know it would me, because being outpatient, I don't have anyone else to really talk to except for the therapist, but she doesn't get it, she doesn't understand how I feel, and the things that I think, and the things that I see, and just everything. But that's why I decided to start making these videos, and I just wish you all a beautiful day. Goodbye.